They really robbed the league and are going to get away with it. A couple weeks ago, we didn't even know if the Lakers would be in the play-in. Today, they're looking at a possible legacy-altering title run, but why this happened is fascinating.
Mamba out. With the second pick.
Breaking news, LeBron is a Laker. Pelicans have agreed to finally trade Anthony Davis to the Lakers.
The Lakers are the world champions.
Last night, they just got straight
The
pumped.
Lakers are near a deal to acquire Washington's Russell Westbrook.
LA Lakers mathematically eliminated from a shot at this year's play-in tournament.
I think we're caught up. It's safe to say the Lakers came into the season with pretty low expectations, to say the least. Their offseason additions were Lonnie Walker, Thomas Bryant, and Patrick Beverley. 5 moves in a vacuum, but this didn't move the needle. They still had 2 glaring issues: Russell Westbrook and the health of their superstar duo. 3 games into the season, Lakers were already 0-3. Russell Westbrook had already managed to have a game where he shot 0 for 11 from the field and another where he went 4 for 15. It was time. He was sent to the bench. Something he seemed pretty willing to do, which was promising, but it didn't answer their problems. He might have been marginally better individually, but the Lakers would begin the season 2-9. Extremely concerning considering LeBron and AD were both out there for almost that entire stretch. The "it's just health" narrative was dying. Then things got a little better, but it was a LeBron AD carry job. At the start of December, AD went on a 9-game stretch where he averaged 35 and 16. Around the new year, LeBron pulled off a 16-game stretch where he was averaging 34, 9, and 8. They were great, but the team wasn't. By the trade deadline, they sat with a 25-30 record. The responsibilities being put on Troy Brown Jr., Damian Jones, Kendrick Nunn, Wenyen Gabriel was just not going to work out. Now, Lakers trade rumors have always been a curious case. Who are these people writing this stuff? On top of overhyping the most random role players, the fan base creates value out of thin air. If this is the echo chamber you reside in, you were under the impression that Talen Horton-Tucker was the greatest thing since sliced bread, an incredible young talent that was just gonna torture defenses when finally unleashed. But this always begged the question, if he's so good, why would you want to trade him? But this echo chamber didn't want to answer that question. They're too busy in the trade machine bringing in guys like Zach LaVine for a THT headline package. Whatever little value he had though, seemingly vanished once he inked a 3-year, $30 million extension. There was no one left to overhype. So then the picks started being brought up. The playoffs are finally here, and I'm super excited to make some Prize Picks entries, the sponsor for today's video. It's a sports pick'em platform where by choosing more or less on stats, you can win up to 25 times your entry. Tonight, we've got the final play-in games, win or go home. The Heat were upset by the Hawks the other day. Jimmy Butler is not going down without a fight. Give me his points. Then I'm feeling more on Kobe White. I'm going to use similar logic in the next game. Anthony Edwards, miserable game against the Lakers, finishing with 9 points. It's not happening again. Then I see Josh Giddey at 20.5. I love Giddey. He stepped up in the last game. He does it here again. I'm going flex play, meaning I only need 3 out of the 4 for a winning entry. All 4 happen, 25 becomes 125. Prize Picks is legal in over 30 states to people 19 years or older, but state restrictions may vary. It's also for entertainment purposes. It needs to be played responsibly. If you guys want to check it out though, go to the link in the description, and if you use code JIMMER, they're going to give you a deposit match up to $100. Thank you Prize Picks for sponsoring today's video. Yeah, we might have basically no one under contract in 2 years. LeBron's departure seems inevitable with Bronny incoming, but let's give up whatever draft capital we have. It was a tough spot. With the right trade, they could once again be legit contenders. But at what cost? Some of these trade scenarios left the door open to be an embarrassment for nearly the next decade, handing over top pick year in and year out. But then something happened. Their prayers were answered. The dream scenario.
Adrian, what just happened?
Irving told the Nets that they want to trade. They want to trade ahead of...
What more could you ask for? A star point guard is requesting a trade. He's already played with LeBron. He wants to come to Los Angeles, and the best part, he only has 3 months on his contract. Trade requests have evolved. It's not just get me out of here, it's get me out of here, but don't count on me signing a new deal unless you're one of these teams. This eliminates the interest of 80% of the league and drastically affects their value. This is what allowed the Lakers to legitimately be in the conversation. They emerged as the frontrunners. They really might get Kyrie without completely sacrificing the future sanity of this fan base. But then in a matter of days, the excitement and hope were swapped out for anger and disappointment. The NBA might be a business, but that doesn't stop emotional decision-making even at the top. Luka Doncic might be in a Kings uniform right now if it wasn't for a sour relationship between his father and a GM. In this situation, we've got the Nets owner face the trade request with the quote-unquote presumed objective to trade Kyrie to anywhere but his top target, the Los Angeles Lakers. His motive will never be fully known, but it's not hard to think of why he was holding a grudge for Kyrie given what we saw during the offseason. His mind was set, but there's always a price. Overnight, what seemed to be an opportunity to land a superstar at a discount became a situation where there was the price for Kyrie and then the Lakers price. In order to get a deal done, 2 first-rounders and most likely a guy like Austin Reeves would be out the door. A tough pill to swallow for no guarantees. He wasn't bringing magical injury healing powers with him, but they were gonna do it. Rob Pelinka was staring at the big red button on the table. His hand was hovering over it. He was about to press it. But then at the last moment, he backed away, and by the time an official offer was brought to the table, it wasn't enough. Dallas swoops in. Kyrie is no longer an option. In the eyes of many, it was over. Not just for the Lakers, but for Pelinka. Russell Westbrook trade, strike 1. Losing out on Kyrie, strike 2. No one wants to face an 0-2 count. Your chances aren't looking great, but every once in a while, someone chases that third pitch and they hit a home run. A hit that might have just won the game. The league was throwing out in a way the Lakers saw it coming. They pulled off a blatant robbery, and it was beautiful. They eased us in, trading Kendrick Nunn and a few second-round picks to the Wizards for Rui Hachimura, someone that was a top 10 pick in 2019. Not bad, but whatever. Then came the actual trade deadline day, where things got crazy. They pulled off a 14 deal with the Magic, Nuggets, and Clippers. Sparring all the details, they basically gave up Patrick Beverley, Thomas Bryant, and some cash in exchange for Mo Bamba, Devin Reed, and 2 second-round picks. Interesting, but we're still dealing with relatively the same team. Then it happened. They would give up Damian Jones, Juan Toscano Anderson, Russell Westbrook, Talen Horton-Tucker, a first in 2027, and a second-rounder for Malik Beasley, D'Angelo Russell, and Jared Vanderbilt. This trade will be hung up in museums one day. They were on the edge of giving up more for Kyrie, a trade that would have gutted their rotation. You really can't be more impressed with Pelinka. These were still win-now moves, but the risk-to-reward scale was now balanced. They didn't lack superstar talent, they lacked a team. In 1 week, they added depth, shooting, and the most important, the addition by subtraction of Russell Westbrook. They did this with practically just a singular first-round pick, a protected one at that. As much as TikTok watching, instant gratification seeking, Lakers fans since 2018 want to give up everything under the sun in a blockbuster deal, this team has zero players under contract 2 seasons from now, a situation that was clearly factored in during the afternoon of February 9th. Pelinka made a great video. There was nothing to critique, but that video was now uploaded and no longer in his control. Within minutes, that video was a 1 out of 10 and it showed no signs of slowing down. They finished the season on an 18-9 run after the deadline, making them legitimately one of the best teams in the league. Only the Bucks and 76ers boasted better records in this time. On the day of the deadline, the only teams that had worse records in the Western Conference were the Spurs and Rockets. What's even crazier is that LeBron missed 14 games in this stretch. So why exactly has this team not only been this much better, but this capable of staying afloat without LeBron?
AD is playing out of his mind.
The first thing that jumps out is Anthony Davis. He's been healthy for the last 30 games, and he's been playing some of the best basketball of his entire life. He's simplified his game. He stopped settling for jump shots, and it's working. 67% of his shots this season are coming within 10 feet, a career high. They swapped out possibly the worst fit imaginable in Russell Westbrook, someone that was shooting just 41% from the field, 29% from 3, and 65% from the line for an incredible fit in D'Angelo Russell. The former All-Star has his flaws, but it seems coming to a slightly above average defensive team and being able to play off ball was a great move for his future. He's bringing them 17 points and 6 assists a game. He's shooting 47% from the field, 39% from 3. They're 12-5 when he's out there. But this isn't the most important addition from the trade deadline. In fact, it's not even the most important addition from that trade. All eyes were on Russell, but the Lakers also managed to bring in Jared Vanderbilt. He's already played on 5 different teams, but over the last couple years with Minnesota and most recently Utah, he had established himself as a really solid defender. He brought that defense to LA, finally giving them someone they can trust in the front court. They were back to being one of the better defensive units in the league. His versatility has given them a real glue guy and taken a ton of responsibility off AD's shoulders. It was that side of the ball that brought them their championship in 2020. The other thing that really jumps out to you is Austin Reeves.
I didn't know you had that. Oh, I got bounced.
He's come out of nowhere. It doesn't seem to be for any particular reason, but he's become a legit scoring option for them in the last 20 games. He's averaging 18 points, 6 assists, shooting 56% from the field, 43% from 3, and 92% from the line in that time. Now, these numbers clearly won't hold. He's got that hot hand right now, but it's unlikely he returns to that pre-All-Star break self. Between him, D'Lo, and LeBron, You have 3 at least respectable both playmakers and shot creators, something that takes the ceiling off what this offense could be. If everyone is healthy, they can now put together a top-tier starting unit on both sides of the ball. Now the depth's interesting. It's flat out not all that great. Troy Brown Jr. and Winning and Gabriel wouldn't be in almost every other playoff rotation, but it's working.
Schroeder's been unbelievable.
Troy Brown Jr. and Malik Beasley give them much needed perimeter shooting. And then their latest addition to the second unit, Rui Hachimura. The Lakers didn't dominate one trade, they dominated the deadline. He brings them just 10 points and 5 rebounds, but he gives them versatility I don't think anyone expected. In the few games he played prior to the deadline, he was thrusted into the starting lineup, but post-deadline, he became their secret weapon. With an invigorated effort defensively, the Lakers have confidence running him at the 5 in small ball situations, something that could be a necessity for a deep playoff run in the West. It's shaping up better than any Lakers fan could have ever hoped for. They're set to face the Grizzlies in the first round, a team that just lost their starting center Adams. The post-deadline numbers suggest this is one of the best teams in the league right now. They're coming into the playoffs fully healthy, something that was starting to feel impossible. Counting out the league's all-time scorer is always foolish. They're going to avoid the best team in the West till the conference finals. They're going to avoid the best teams in the league till the finals. A legacy-defining run just feels right, and I couldn't be more excited. Pelinka robbed the league. It's time for LeBron and AD to launder the money.